Hi, thanks for joining today's review. So first thing we're going to do is a quick unboxing, then we'll do a close-up view of the coach. We'll do a very short running session, and then we'll finish off with a summary, scoring and recommendation. Okay, let's get going. Hi, welcome to today's review. So today we're doing another coach review, and it's another one of the Oxford Rail Mark III coaches, and it's the Stobart First Open coach. This kind of struck me, the livery on this coach, and that's kind of what attracted to me. So I got a couple of these. I wanted to take a look at them, try them out, so I'm going to share that with you. So we're looking at the OR763 FO for First Open 004, and it's the only Stobart liveried coach at the moment in their range, so as a First Open. And these would typically have been run with class 57, and that's what I'll actually do for the running session, and I'll mix them with some other Mark III stock. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It's much the same as any other, I suppose, Mark III from Oxford, and I guess it is probably susceptible to some of the issues with some of them that we've had with some of the other Mark III coaches. Again, this is the same sort of detailing kit you get with any of the Mark IIIs on them. I'll put them up here. Actually, take a look at this guy now, see what he looks like. So it's a striking livery, I'll put it that way. This kind of blue-purple colour with the Stobart branding, and then the Direct Rail Services branding actually on the doors there. So you would see this mixed with, say, some other DRS stock, and it would be with a DRS branded class 57 as they would have been running this train. You can see the spring mounted coupling assembly there, which, as I say, I'm not a fan of, but that's what we have here. It's really nice level of detail, again, as you come to expect with the Oxford coaches at either end, and we will do a close-up. You've got the fixed buffers, so it's never, and these wouldn't have been running with class 43 HSTs anyway, so these ones would only ever have been running with a 47 or a 57 locomotive, so having the buffers on these actually isn't an issue so much. So there it is. First look out of the boxes, it looks a really nice coach, say quite an attractive, striking livery, and should perform, I suppose, as good as the other Mark IIIs, and we'll get to see that in the next little while. So we'll take a close up of this, we'll do a 360, and then we'll see it as part of a running session, and then make a final assessment. But so far so good. Looks actually a pretty nice looking coach. Okay, let's go to the next part of the review. So now we're going to take a close-up view of the model, and if you're familiar with the Oxford coaches, you will be familiar with the level of detail, particularly the ends of the coaches. It has a lot of added detail. This is quite a spectacular livery, I think, and I do believe Oxford have done a very good job in rendering it. It's quite a challenging livery as well, and there's some very good registration of all of the branding. It's good colour. And as I say, the end pieces, the bogies and end detail is really, really good. And we'll see that a little bit more now when we do the 360 view. So I think this is quite a striking coach, I think, as you can see here. And some nice bogie detail there as well. I think the point with these coaches, I didn't see any of these detailing parts falling off, which is a problem I had on some previous Oxford coaches, but didn't have that problem here. So this is a 360 view, so we'll get a closer look maybe at the ends of the coach, which I think are pretty good across all of the range of the Oxford coaches. I think this is where they kind of excel, around the door area, around the end, the grad rails, the labelling, the underbody detail. It's all very good, and I think this is where they do tend to win out against Hornby, the Hornby Mark IIIs in this area. So giving you a good kind of spin in terms of what this coach looks like. It is quite spectacular, and when we do the running session, you'll probably notice that it stands out, really does stand out, and the blue and grey coaches actually look quite drab behind this. So it is quite a spectacular livery, and And that's kind of, I suppose, what attracted me to it when I saw it first available. I wasn't actually too familiar with the Stobart Pullman. So now we get into the running session, and now we're running with the class 57 here, not a class 47, which is what the main prototypical rakes would be. They would have be pulled by 47, but as we know, 47s became 57s. So you can see the front two coaches there are the first opens, and then we've got the blue and greys, and I think the contrast is they really do look so much more kind of drab, I suppose. And I do like these blue and grey coaches, and there's a nice shade of blue on them. But they do pale a little bit when you look at the first two Stobart coaches, which are quite spectacular. And I suppose that's if you're going to get these for your layout, that's the reason you're getting them, because they just add that extra bit that kind of lift the look of the layout a little bit. Now this isn't a prototypical rake, and I'll talk about what a typical formation for this is a little bit later in the summary section. And it is a mix of Mark 1, Mark 2 and Mark 3 stock, actually, this being the Mark 3 part of it, and they're only first opens. That's all that was in those rakes. They used Mark 1 buffet cards, and they used a Mark 2 brake. Now, getting hold of the Mark 2 and Mark 1 coaches in the DRS livery is probably going to be quite a challenge unless you get a repaint. Hornby have recently brought out the Mark 2s, so I'm going to do a review of those separately. And obviously you'd need that for your full representative rake, but here I'm just tagging on the blue and grey coaches. So I'm running this at those first a low speed, now going into a mid speed, and similar to the blue grey coaches which I reviewed previously, these ran really well. I put them up front in the rake for two reasons. One, obviously for just visibility, to get a good look at them, but also to look at the couplers, because I do have concerns over the quality of those couplers, which I expressed in a previous review. And putting them at the front like this puts the maximum strain on those couplers, because they're taking the full strain of the rake and the spring mechanism that's there. And I didn't have any issues, I guess, and run this right up to top speed. Now we'll go right up to the full speed, prototypical speed, around about 100 miles an hour. And I didn't have any issues with these coaches at all. They ran flawlessly. So I'm very pleased with them. As I say, I didn't have any of the quality issues out of the box with these coaches either, and really were very good during the running session, similar to the blue-grey coaches, which did run very well as well. Didn't have any issues with those either. So we're just going to finish off here now, coming through the last section of the running session. I'll say really impressed with it. It would be interesting to pull together the full prototypical train for this. A little bit of work probably to do that, but it certainly would be a very nice, unique feature on your layout if you were to do it. So, just coming to an end now, the last look at these two coaches on the layout, and say they look really good. They do stand out, and I do actually like them. Okay, that was the running session. So now we're going to do a summary. We've been looking at the Oxford Rail Stobart Pullman Mark III in the Pullman DRS livery. There's only the first open coach type in this range. Comes with the standard NEM couplers and fixed buffers, and with a lot of added detail at either end of the coach, and with a very minimal detailing kit. The unpackaged weight is 174 grams, which is pretty well in line with all of the other Oxford Rail Mark III coaches, and the typical selling price similarly in the £32 to £37.95, which is the RRP range. I picked these ones up for that £32 level. This is just the formation guide I mentioned during the running session. These are pulled by a class 47, both the top and tail configuration. You can see that there's two of the first opens there, followed by a buffet car in a DRS livery Mark 1. Three of the first opens, another buffet car, two more first opens, and then a Mark 2 brake. So that's a typical formation for the train type that these would be part of. The running performance I'm giving a 5-star, which is actually a little bit higher than I give the blue and grey coaches, and that's because I have put them under stress, as I mentioned in the running session here, and I'm very pleased with them. Appearance and detail, very good. Extras the same as for the blue and greys. I've given them a slightly higher score on the build quality and the price value because I didn't have the out-of-box issues I had with the blue-grey coaches, so I didn't have any of those quality problems. And so overall I'm giving them a good, strong 4-star and a recommended rating. And as I said, if this is a livery of interest to you, I think these coaches are worth the punt, and I think you won't be disappointed. Okay, so short enough review today, so thank you for that. I do have a review of the Hornby DRS coaches coming up, the Mark IIs that are just out, so I should hope to have that the next week, and hope you enjoyed today's review. Please hit a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and we'll hopefully see you on the next video, and in the meantime, happy modelling.